Good morning, staff. Today we are going to talk about person-first language. What is person-first language? It is always putting the person or student above the disability when you're talking about a student. Here are some facts. Students with disabilities make up 13% of the total public school enrollment. That's over 6.6 million students. As you look at the table below, specific learning disabilities make up the highest percentage of these students, which is an invisible disability. These disabilities know no bounds. It is the largest minority population in the world. It is the most diverse population because the disabilities go to any race, gender, or age. What does person-first language look like in the classroom? It is always putting the person above the disability when referring to a student. Now let's go over some proper use of person-first language. We have a handicap. Should we refer to the student as a handicapped student or a student who uses a wheelchair? Student who uses a wheelchair is the person-first language acceptable way of talking because the wheelchair does not define the student. It is just how they are mobile. Take Jim, for instance. Jim is much more than a student who is in a wheelchair. He is a great student with multiple friends. He enjoys basketball and is very active in student council. Another proper use, should we refer to the student as the autistic student or a student who has autism? By using person-first language, even though the student has autism, the student's autism does not define the student for who they are. Take David, for instance. David is much more than a student with autism. He is an excellent artist and is interested in comic books. These skills together allows him to create great pieces of work. Should we refer to the student as a blind student or the student who is blind? By putting student above blind, we are using person-first language. The student lack of sight does not define the student. This is Rebecca. Rebecca is much more than a student who is visually impaired. She plays the piano and has a great musical talent. Using proper person-first language, normal or healthy students or students without disabilities. By referring to students as students without disabilities rather than normal, we are saying that students with disabilities are not normal or healthy. When in instance, students with disabilities are not abnormal. They may be different, but those differences do not define them because they are students as well. Let's recap what we've learned. Person-first language is being polite and respectful. Your words have power, and as teachers, language can hurt. A student is not defined by their differences. At USD 428, we choose positive person-first language. Thank you. Have a good day.